Race 8. And they're away as well. Gage Road's the first to hit the ground over Rommel's Goddess out wide, but Show Lass is burning through for Faithful, and she'll go to the lead at the end of about 250 with Outspoken Lad up there third shortly after. On the rails next of all is Macchiato, just in front of Reliable Queen, who's much handier to them. Rommel's Goddess dropping back, but 3 deep outside Mystical Man. Kenny Jack pushing up underneath of that pair. They're a length and a half to the good of Uncle Gerard, No Peer. Then came Cressy, and last is Ton of Grunt. They work out towards the 1,000 and leave the back, and Show Lass, the well-tried commodity here in the last, drew a length and a half. Gage Roads, a similar margin, third Outspoken Lad, followed next of all on the rails by Macchiato. Then after one came Reliable Queen. Rommel's Goddess tramping around the outside in advance of Kenny Jack. Then Mystical Man and Uncle Gerard back in the field, followed by Cressy and No Peer. The tail ender is Ton of Grunt. They string right out coming down the side. They've got 600 left to go, and Show Lass is making all the running. It's Show Lass a length and a half to Gage Roads. Outspoken Lad will straighten up third. Macchiato staying close to the rail. Reliable Queen ridden along from Kenny Jack. Rommel's Goddess has been wide most of the way. Then Mystical Man, No Peer. Uncle Gerard saved up back in the field. Then Ton of Grunt, but Show Lass led them at the 300. Show Lass about to be joined by Gage Roads. Show Lass, Gage Roads for the moment. They've got it between themselves. Gage Roads gets a neck to Show Lass. 150 left to go. Gage Roads now drops a gear, kicks away from Show Lass, and Gage Roads is home. Gage Roads pulls away from them and won the last easily from Show Lass. Right up along the rail, No Peer for third, fourth Ton of Grunt from Mystical Man. Then Outspoken Lad, Uncle Gerard next in, Reliable Queen, Kenny Jack, Macchiato. Rommel's Goddess faded right out of it after being wide all the way, and back there with her is Cressy. Number 4. Gage Roads gives Steve Woolstable a double here this afternoon. Ridden by Sean McGrady. Gage Roads attacking Show Lass. They had the race between themselves, and over the final stages it was the gold standard gelding Gage Roads that really put his stamp on proceedings and has pulled away and has won well. A length and a half in fact. Second home, Show Lass third, getting right up on the inside. No Peer scraped the Dulux, and Ton of Grunt was a distant fourth. 4, 8, 10 and 5 the placings to the running of race 8. Gage Roads carries the Mount Hellawell stud, colours of Craig Thompson, a gold standard gelding from Royal Faux Pas, and it wins its 4th race from 35 runs this afternoon, giving trainer Steve Wolf the second leg of a double. Scoring in the final race for the day over Show Lass, the well-tried favourite Show Lass by Showtime, Tash Faithful for trainer Dave Caterino, and No Peer, and a Coney mare in the yard of Donna Reardon and handled by Joey as a party. Outspoken Lad battled away. Uncle Gerard did similarly, and they just finished in behind the minor place getters, but no match for Gage Roads here this afternoon, who are simply far too good. Ends the day on a great note for Steve Wolf. I'm sure that hopefully will continue tomorrow when his beloved Freo Dockers take on the Carlton Bluebaggers at Optus Lockie.
Darren, he'll be hoping, and as will you, fellow Freo supporter, as Wolfie joins me for the second time. Gage Roads, today was his day.
Today was the day. It's great really for Craig and for myself and for McGrady. He's just come back from a holiday, needs to pay a few bills, but he loomed up alongside Tash, and I think she beat him a couple of weeks ago on one of mine, on one of young Valentine's, and it was good. The horse deserves a win. He's one of them horses, as you know what they're like. They're bloody hard to get over the wire, and it's great to see a couple of Soul veterans. I was very proud of Alan Matthews today, one of our leading trainers. People forget about them, 5 or 6 Perth Cups, and he's won a double. It's good to see, and I'm just happy that this one's got over the wire.
On Gage Roads, as you've touched upon, he struggled to find the wire, as you described, but to his credit today, he really put them away.
Yeah, well, you keep trying tricks. You put blinkers on them and winkers on them, and we took everything off and just put the winkers back on. I think sometimes we all overwork them, Locke, That's what I've found over the journey, that you try and get him a bit fitter, but he's got a few tricks, and he's been with the best, and he's been with us. He's won a race in Albany, now he's won one here. Thank heavens.
I know that you spend your winter months up in Perth. How are you enjoying your time at Ascot?
Oh, I enjoy my time anyway. I'm just thankful that only 12 months ago I was nearly gone.
Looking forward to the footy tomorrow. Is your mate Old Cobb joining you?
Well, I would certainly hope so. He's been on a bit of a long service leave as well. But, yeah, you would think that we could beat Carlton tomorrow. Yeah, they're in a bit of pain, but we're not that reliable. They're a bit like Gage Roads, our boys.
A nice way to finish the day, Wolfie. Well done.
Thank you very much.
There's Steve Wolf combining with his old mate in Sean McGrady and Gage Roads, and that rounds out what has been a wonderful day of racing here at Pinjarra Park, as Scotty and I say a formal good night to our racing.com audience. Sean McGrady is just on his way in to make things official after the win of Gage Roads. But Scotty, it's been a day for the non-winners. Dark Looks, Gage Roads, they both get the job done and they return to the winner's circle after being such consistent horses over a long period of time.
Exactly right, Lockie. On the heavy 8 surface here today, it seemed to get the best out of those horses that had a few convictions and a couple of tricks up their sleeve. But Sean McGrady is about to weigh in on Gage Roads, and then we'll get a word from him after his victory in the last. In the end, though, that was quite a dominant performance. He was an emphatic victor.
Absolutely. With Dark Looks, she loomed and looked like she was going to put them away and only just fell in. But Gage Roads, for a horse that has been a little bit scared of getting his photo taken in the past, he really put them away in dominant fashion. He wins the last of the day, and here's Sean McGrady, a happy man, catching up with Scotty.
Certainly is a happy man. Sean McGrady joins us now. Gage Roads, he's been a bit of a hard horse to catch over the years, but he put that race away quite well.
No, he's definitely a nonny. Hit the front too early then, and he put it in reverse. So then I just had to get the old Ollie roar out, and he did enough to hold on. But he did love the soft going, so that was sort of why he ambled up on it, under a hold. But certainly when he hit the front, he put the brakes on.
I actually remember a couple of months ago I tipped this horse, and you messaged me and said you've lost the plot. So he's obviously a horse that's been frustrating for all of us.
Correct. Yeah. Look, his record speaks for itself. That's his 4th win now, but for a long time he was on 3 wins, 7 seconds, 6 thirds. So. Yeah, like I say, the sting out seemed to help him, so hopefully he can go on with it and win a few more while the tracks are soft.
That's right, well done.
Thank you.
There's Sean McGrady. He combines with Steve Wolf and Gage Roads to take out the last of the day here at Pinjarra Park. And as I said prior to the last, Scotty, this Pinjarra Park track has done plenty of heavy lifting here throughout the winter months, and once again it's stood up pretty well.
Exactly right. Hopefully as an industry we can just continue to acknowledge and thank all of these country clubs, Pinjarra, the Bunbury's, that have just put on so much extra over the last 6 months to do the heavy lifting. We're back at Belmont on Wednesday and hopefully next Saturday as well, because some of those nicer horses are just starting to begin their preparations. At the back end of Belmont you always get those horses that are having a little cheeky run before we head back to Ascot, and that's not that far away.
Highlight of the day for mine has to be the interview just then with Steve Wolf. I love the fact that he referenced one of his fellow veteran trainers in Alan Matthews, and he spoke really candidly. He said people often forget about how good Alan Matthews was as a trainer when he was in his heyday, 5 or 6 Perth Cups back in the day. Absolute star, and trains a double here today.
Oh, and one of my all-time favourites, old Poonamoo. Yep. He was just an absolute ripper. He had a bit of a cult following, some of those greys can. Speaking of greys, one of the clerks of the course today was It's a Him. Reggie was out here.
One of our all-time favourites for what he did not only on the grass but on the dirt up in Broome and Darwin as well. But that rounds out what has been a wonderful day of racing here at Pinjarra Park and up in Broome. But it's good night from Scotty and I.